I mean, well, let's don't wishy-washy about it. Is the NFL scripted or is it not?
Man, I think they got billions of reasons to have an interest in who's there.
Is the NFL scripted? And I'm going to yell it a little louder because I don't think you heard me. Is the NFL scripted or is it not?
Absolutely. There you go.
Okay. Now that we got that out of the way, so you're a flat earther, NFL scripted.
No, I'm
and we're
not-
going all the way that way.
I'm
All
not
the way
getting
with
into all the other
conspiracy theory.
conspiracies, but sometimes when you start labeling yourself sports entertainment and there's billions of dollars on the line, I don't believe there's not some people, blowing some wind in the sail to make the boat move, if that makes sense.
Welcome to Big B Daily. No frauds allowed.
What is going on, everybody? What is going on? This is your man, Big B. Welcome back to the Big B Daily Show. We are live on TikTok. What's going on, TikTok? And we are live on YouTube. What is happening, YouTube? We appreciate everybody being in here today, man. We got a lot going on today. So we got Shanahan's legacy that we're talking about, what he can do to possibly change it and what has gone wrong. Talking about Tiger Woods' new brand, Sunday Red. Sunday Red. We are talking about that and going to find out what's going on and also talk about his legacy with Nike and then what the Chiefs need to do to 3P. So we're going to talk about all of that stuff. So thank you guys for coming in today. Let's get it going. And like I mentioned, as always, again, TikTok. Keep tapping the screen. Need at least 5,000 likes. So just keep tapping the screen. Want to get as many people in here as possible. Click on and give us a follow if you're not following already. Click on the YouTube link in my bio. Come on over, subscribe to Big B Sports Talk over on YouTube. And if you're not on YouTube, or if you are on YouTube, please give us a subscribe over there. We appreciate all your support. Let's get into the show. So, first thing is, Kyle Shanahan, man. A lot of 49ers fans are over Kyle Shanahan at this point. They are wanting to get rid of Kyle Shanahan. They don't want him to be the coach. They think he can't get over the hump. The first thought is, let's pump the brakes a little bit on getting rid of Kyle Shanahan. I understand that you haven't won the Super Bowl, but you haven't won the Super Bowl since 1995. Okay? Let's keep some things in perspective. It's not that the 49ers aren't good. It's not that they can't compete. I mean, we talk about Kyle Shanahan like he's, I don't know, like he's Brandon Staley from the Chargers. Let's hold on a second. He gets them there. So do you want to be an also-ran? Because the 49ers for a lot of years were a pathetic football team. Let's just be honest. Outside of the Jim Harbaugh years, the 49ers for a lot of years were pathetic after 1995. So do you want to go back to that? I would guess that you don't. I mean, yeah, he gets you there. Now, you can come up with everything that you want to say as far as him not getting over the hump. I think that's a legitimate conversation. What does he need to do as far as his coaching style on how to change to be able to get over the hump? I get it. I 100% get it. He keeps giving up these leads. 10 points or more. Going all the way back to the Super Bowl that they lost to New England. I 100% understand that. Some of his play calling, he's got to change in game. And I think that's part of it. He wants to stay ultra aggressive. I'm like, how about you just get to the finish line? That's the ultimate goal, is to win the game. It doesn't matter how you win it. You don't have to be the smartest guy in the room. All you have to do is win. Nobody cares if you're a bumbling idiot as a head coach. If you win, that's all anybody cares about. And to me, it seems like Kyle Shanahan has to believe, or he wants everybody to believe, that he's the reason that they're winning. That's a mistake. It doesn't matter, again, if you're the smartest guy in the room, if you're the best coach on the field. Nobody has to believe that as long as your team wins. Who cares? Who cares? It should be about winning. And when you get these 10-point leads, I mean, they were up 10-0 against the Chiefs, and the Chiefs had no signs of life in the first half. None. Just start running the football. Just get to the finish line. They went away from that. They allowed the Chiefs to catch life, and they allowed them to catch up. I mean, just run the football. I mean, you could have said the same thing, hell, against New England. You'd think he would have learned his lesson. I mean, against New England, and now granted, he wasn't the head coach, but he was the one calling the plays. 28-3, and you can't hold that lead? Could have just run the ball. Wouldn't do it. I got to be the smartest guy. Got beat. Silliness. Just silliness. There's no reason for it. Now, on the flip side, San Francisco fans have to relax. You're not getting rid of a coach that continuously gets you to the big game. I mean, you go to the AFC or the NFC championship. You're going to the Super Bowl. I mean, look at the Cowboys. Cowboys fans would, I don't know what they would do. Cut off their pinky finger to be able to go to the NFC championship game. They haven't even been to the championship game since 1996. They haven't even been. So, you know, I get you being frustrated, but just put yourselves in their shoes. Put yourselves in their shoes. Put yourselves in Detroit. There's a lot of teams that haven't even been. Detroit, this is the first time ever that the Lions had been. My goodness. So there's a lot that you have going for you as a San Francisco 49er fan. It looks like you found your quarterback of the future. So it looks like you've found him. You still don't have to pay Brock Purdy. You've got another year and basically 2 years. Even when you pay him, all that money's not going to go against the cap because it'll be a big 2 years with Brock Purdy, not paying him anything in NFL terms. Let's not kid ourselves. The man made $800,000 a year. I'm guessing everybody in this chat would take a job that pays him $800,000 a year. But he doesn't get paid anything in NFL terms. So let's just pump the brakes a little bit. They have an opportunity here. They still have an opportunity, not to mention their team is really, really good. Do they need some other stuff? Yeah. Are they going to have to find a way to bring back some guys? Yeah. Brandon Ayuk, you're going to have to pay him. You're going to have to pay him. But other than that, they've got some holes to fill. But I think the 49ers, if they just say, you know what, we're going for it, which I think they pretty much did this year. But they can do it again next year. Again, you're not paying your quarterback anything. So go get it again next year. First of all, my man Redneck Patriot, find out what's going on in the overtime. Gee, many Christmas. I thought that was, again, coaching. Kyle Shanahan. How do your players not know what the hell's going on? Oh, my goodness. Even if hey, guys, you understand that the rules for the playoffs are different than what they were in the regular season. This is what they are moving forward. These are the playoff overtime rules. That's simple. That's very, very simple. Hell, you've talked about the Chiefs players. All they talk about, now some of it could be hyperbole after the fact. I get all of that. But they're talking about how they had meetings starting back in training camp. And then 2 meetings the week of the Super Bowl. One coach is prepared, one coach is not. You know. And you're right, Butch. On TikTok said that's not an excuse. It was on the damn Jumbotron. You're exactly right. Even if they didn't, I mean, but here's, to be fair, a lot of players aren't looking at the Jumbotron right before the start of overtime. To be fair. I mean, your position coaches could be meeting with you. You know, you could be doing a lot of things, which you probably should be doing, versus looking at the Jumbotron during a football game. I know a lot of guys look at it for replays, but there were no replays going on. So I get that part. The bottom line is your coach should have went over it. And I mean, and the game shouldn't have went to overtime. You should have been able to win it in regulation. But having said that, you're playing Patrick Mahomes. You allowed him to come back. It is what it is. Kyle Shanahan's got to figure some stuff out. You've got to learn to hold on to these leads in the big game. Just get to the finish line and stop worrying about being the smartest coach in the stadium. It doesn't matter. Nobody cares. All they care about is if you win. If you win, guess what? They'll think you're the smartest coach. Whether you are or not. You might be a lousy coach, but if your team wins the Super Bowl, they're going to think that you're good. So, Pearland over on TikTok, thank you for joining. He says they need O-line badly. Yeah, outside of Trent Williams, the 49ers got to shore up that offensive line. They got to shore up the offensive line. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. Again, outside of Trent Williams, they got to shore it up. They got to figure that part out. So, and he also says, I know hindsight's 20/20, but I'm a Shanahan. If I'm Shanahan in overtime, I'm running the ball up the left side every play. At some point, you just have to say the best player on our offense is Trent Williams. And we're going to hand it to who could possibly be the best player, CMC. We're going to ride those two to a victory. Didn't do it. Didn't do it enough. So, didn't. And I know what people say, because my thought was, come on, Kyle Shanahan, give CMC the ball. Give Christian McCaffrey the football. I've got a lot of pushback yesterday. Well, he had 30 touches. We had 5 of them in overtime. Oh, by the way, it's the Super Bowl. Debo was ineffective. Give the ball. Christian McCaffrey could have had 40 carries. What are you holding him for? What are you waiting for? What else is there? 45 touches, 50 touches. If that's what it takes, you do everything in your power to win the game. You do everything in your power to win the game. Nah, Butch, that fumble didn't spook him. That fumble came off of after 5 touches. He had 25 touches after that. It didn't spook him. The bottom line is you do whatever you have to do to win a football game. Kyle Shanahan just didn't do it. He just didn't do it. I know what people are saying. I get it. But he did not do it. And that's the problem that I think a lot of 49er fans have, is like, we get these leads. How come we can't hold leads? You got to do everything in your power to win a game. And if that means you got to run it every time and just run the clock out and win, I think 49er fans will be just fine with that. But instead, you don't do that. Like I said, if you're going to beat me, and this is just me talking, and I think a lot of you all agree, if I'm going to go down, I'm going to go down with my best players. And I'm going to let them decide. I'm going to put the ball in their hands, and either we can win or we can't. But I'm not going to go out there trying to outsmart everybody, trying to outsmart them, do this, trick people. No. I'm going to put the ball in my best players' hands, and either they can bring it home or they can't. At some point, Kyle Shanahan got to answer for that and stop trying to be the smartest guy on the field and just go win the game. Just go win the game. And not being prepared in overtime is inexcusable. Here's the thing, guys. Nobody's coming out and saying this. If his players didn't know the overtime rules, how the hell do we think that Kyle Shanahan knew what the overtime rules were? We haven't heard anybody say that. But if his players didn't know, do you really think that he knew? Because I don't. I don't buy it for a second. The players didn't know. He didn't know. And that's why they took the ball. Because everybody knows if you have an opportunity, it's just like college rules. And people say, oh, well, you kick the ball off. It's the same principles. You don't take the ball first. When you get an opportunity to get the ball, no matter what, you're literally giving yourself an extra down. It's the same principles. Take the ball second. Do not take it first. Make the other team make a decision because they don't get the extra down. They either have to punt or kick a field goal. And Kyle Shanahan should have known that. He didn't. His players didn't. They were unprepared. They made a horrible decision, and they got beat. It's pretty much that simple. It's pretty much that simple. And some people are saying the defense needed a rest. No, absolutely not. It's the Super Bowl. And if your defense, it didn't help that the defense had a rest, now did it? They went right down the field on you. So don't tell me that the defense needed a rest. They got 3 minutes. They went right down the field, so it didn't help. I mean, we can make these excuses all we want to as 49er fans. I know they're coming out of the woodworks with the excuses. Bottom line is the coach didn't know. His players didn't know. It made another horrible decision. Kyle Shanahan, at some point, you got to stop, man. This legacy, you got to figure out the big game. Does he need to be fired? Absolutely not. 49er fans got to take a chill pill with that. Jiminy Christmas. Stop the cap. Yeah, stop the cap. I told you I was leaning into this young person talk. I'm leaning into it. But no, not fired. Change of philosophy once you get the lead? Yes. You don't have to be ultra aggressive when you're trying to win a game. Just run the football. Just run the football. Even if they're not giving up, they're stopping the run. That's okay. Kill the clock. Just get to the finish line. Just get to the finish line. Pat Cockrell said no one is really talking about how they put the ball in Purdy's hands and went 3-12 on third down. Not saying Purdy played bad. He didn't. That's the difference in winning the Super Bowl. Absolutely. 3 for 12 on third down. That's why people say that Brock Purdy isn't Joe Montana like some 49er fans were trying to say that he was. He didn't play bad. He didn't. But he didn't play good. He didn't play great. He made some plays. He absolutely made some plays. Kept some plays alive. He absolutely did that. Especially that pass to Yurcik. Man, made some plays. But if it was anybody else and they went 3 for 12 on third down, they would say that he didn't play good. So Purdy I thought he played okay. I did. But again, it comes down to, can you make the plays to win? One guy did because he's the best. Another guy didn't. I love what Shannon Sharp had to say is that the difference between the best quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, and the number 2 quarterback is greater than the distance between the second quarterback and the 5th quarterback in the league. I wholeheartedly agree with that. I don't like to piggyback off of other people's comments, but when it's true, it's true. When they're facts, they're facts. The difference between Mahomes and everybody else is greater than 2nd through 5. So, but yeah, I thought Purdy did fine. And somebody said they had one deep ball. They didn't take shots. Guys weren't open, man. The Chiefs defense was like, nope, you're not getting past us. You're not running by us. That was while Chris Jones is a bad man, the strength of the Chiefs defense was the secondary. By far. Guys weren't open. Guys just weren't open. So, I mean, they shut Kittle completely down. Debo shut completely down. So, Shanahan's just got to figure some stuff out in these big games, man. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. As a reminder, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Central Time, people. Thank you guys for showing up. We're live on TikTok. We are live on YouTube. Again, everybody, if you're on TikTok, keep tapping the screen. We need at least 5,000 likes and 30 new follows. So if you're in here and you're not following, please give us a follow and click that YouTube link and join us over on YouTube. Come subscribe to Big B Sports Talk on YouTube. Join the chat. Get a lot of chat, breakouts, shorts, podcasts, a lot of stuff that you don't get anywhere else. Moving on. So Tiger Woods announces his new brand, Sunday Red. After 27 years of being with Nike, he has moved on. Mutually agreed. Nike stopped making golf apparel like golf clubs several years back. He's been with TaylorMade, and now he's partnering up with TaylorMade. Sunday Red. Look, we don't know what the new partnership's going to look like. We don't know anything about it. We know that it's probably going to be good. It's going to be Tiger Woods, and you know he's not going to put his name on something that's not any good. But what we do know for an absolute fact is his partnership with Nike was iconic and changed Nike. It was absolutely iconic. Everything that they did together, it was insane. Tiger, I mean, I don't know that anybody that's in this chat can go the rest of their lives without thinking two things when you think of Nike. You're going to think Michael Jordan, you're going to think Tiger Woods. I mean, you just won't. Look, I love LeBron, but when you think of Nike, you don't think of LeBron. You think of Tiger Woods and you think of Michael Jordan when you think of Nike. It just is what it is, man. It is what it is. I think this is going to be a crazy partnership moving forward. Like I said, we don't know what it's going to look like, but him and Nike, I mean, all the iconic moments of Tiger Woods' career, Nike was there. I mean, everything that he did, Nike was there. The whole Hello World commercial that he had coming out, iconic. So I don't know if you like Tiger Woods, if you don't like Tiger Woods, that doesn't have anything to do with it. Bottom line is, I think this is what he did for Nike and vice versa. It just changed the world. All the commercials and stuff, it changed golf. If you're a golf fan, it changed golf. Everything that he did, unbelievable. Changed golf. He changed the way that people played golf. But Nike was a huge part of that. Hopefully, this new Sunday Red brand can piggyback off of that and make something happen. Tiger, my man, Redneck Patriot said Tiger is the king of golf. Yeah, even still, he's the king of golf. I don't think Tiger Woods is going to win any more majors. I don't even think he's going to win any more tournaments. His legs are beat up. His feet, his ankles, his body is beat up. So I don't think he's going to win any more tournaments. But just having him be out there and be around the game is good for golf. Period. Point blank. It is good for golf. A lot of people can't wait for his son to come out there. I agree. It's going to be a little while. I feel sorry for his son, be honest with you, because I don't even know if he's going to be any good. Let's just say that he is. Is he going to be as good as his dad? And if he's not, people are going to crush him because he's not as good as his dad, which to me is absolutely ridiculous. So it's absolutely ridiculous. And no, I don't play golf, man. I try. Don't get me wrong. I've tried to play golf. I want to be good at it, but I'm not. First of all, I think I'm too big. I can't get my body to swing the club the right way. But I try to play golf. And here's the thing. I like it. But I don't take myself seriously. You know how some people take themselves seriously and get mad, and I don't, because I know I'm not any good. If I knew I was good at something, like shooting a basketball, I can shoot a basketball. When I miss a shot shooting a basketball, I get upset. But I'm just not any good. So I don't take myself serious. I suppose if I practiced at it, maybe I could become bad. Because I'm beyond bad. I'm beyond bad at golf. I like putt-putt. I love putt-putt. I can do that. I can read a green. But chipping, I'm horrendous. Driving, I'm even worse. Yeah, not good at golf. Yeah, my golf game stops at Top Golf. Yeah, that's about right for me. And then even then, you get about 4 pitchers of beer in, and then it just becomes a free-for-all at Top Golf. I will say I've never had a bad time at Top Golf. I will say that. Hell, Tiger Woods might even be on why people like going to Top Golf. Who knows? But a lot of what Tiger Woods has done, man, like I said, him and Nike, that partnership changed sports as we know it. It changed golf, made golf into an ultra popular sport there for about 10 years. And then things changed. They slowed down. He got hurt, got into scandals, all that kind of stuff. But I'm interested to see what his new partnership will bring. I'm very interested to see what that new partnership will bring. So, well, let's move on here, people. Again, as a reminder, Big B Daily Show, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Central Time. We're live on TikTok. We're live on YouTube. If you happen to be on TikTok, remember, keep tapping the screen. We've already hit the goal of 5,000, so let's go ahead and make it to 10,000 today. And please give us a follow if you're not following already. We need at least 30 new follows. Tell a friend next time you come in. Come on in, join the chat on TikTok. Same thing on YouTube. Come on over. If you're on TikTok, please give us a follow. Hit that YouTube link and subscribe to Big B Sports Talk. If you're on YouTube and you're not subscribed, please do so. We appreciate it. Anything to support the channel, super chats, any gifts, all that stuff goes to support the channel to keep us moving. So we appreciate all of that. Especially on YouTube, any super chats, your question goes right to the top, and we say it immediately. We put you up on screen, so we appreciate anything that you do to support us. Moving on. So what do the Chiefs need to do to three-peat? What do the Chiefs need to do to three-peat? I think the first thing, they got to bring back L'Jarius Sneed and Chris Jones. That is the first thing that the Chiefs got to do if they're wanting to three-peat. Yeah, there you go, Wakan. Wakan says it. Chiefs need to re-sign important free agents and a big-bodied receiver. That is the first thing the Chiefs need to do. Re-sign Chris Jones and L'Jarius. First of all, I'll say L'Jarius Sneed and Chris Jones because I think they need to do it in that order. L'Jarius Sneed is going to play for the Chiefs no matter what next year if he plays football because the Chiefs can franchise him. So if L'Jarius Sneed is going to play football in the National Football League next year, it will be with the Chiefs. So Chiefs fans can breathe a sign of fresh air with that. Chris Jones would be the guy they need to sign. He says he's made it a point that he wants to stay. I think he does stay. Give him a 3-year deal. Give him a boatload of money. 2 years of it up front. The third year, we'll see where he is. He'll be 32 at that point. And then you go from there. Now, the Chiefs also need to get a receiver. They need a big receiver. And there's going to be some guys out there. But let's just kind of go through it a little bit. Like, do the Chiefs need to sign, like, for instance, Mike Evans? Mike Evans might be available in Tampa. I think it kind of depends if Baker stays. But would Mike Evans look good in Chiefs? Yeah, he probably would. T. Higgins is going to cost too much for the Chiefs. You know, I said the same thing early on, but I think T. Higgins is going to be too much. Mike Evans wouldn't be because Mike Evans is older. And he's already been paid. And as a Chiefs organization, they can appeal to Mike Evans and say, look, we're going to give you a ton of money, but it's not going to be crazy. Do you want the opportunity to win here? And Mike Evans might say, yeah. But then again, Mike Evans might say, you know what? I want as much money as I can. I live in Tampa, Florida. I have no state income tax. I already have a ring. I love it in Tampa. I want to be with one organization. I'm staying. So there's that. Chuck Miller, you had the next guy on my list, Michael Pittman Jr. I don't think that the Colts are going to keep him. They should keep him, but I don't think they will. That's another guy that they could go after. T. Higgins, I just think, is going to want too much money. I think T. Higgins would fit perfect with the Chiefs, but I think he's going to cost too much for what the Chiefs want to pay. Another thing is the Chiefs, first of all, I think they're going to let Donovan Smith go at left tackle. Wanye Morris, I think they like him. They drafted him last year. He played good this year when he got the opportunity. I think you slide him into left tackle. So there's some money there. So we'll see what happens this year in the offseason. They can also draft a guy. There's a lot of receivers out there. They could also just, you know what? We'll draft the guy. It worked out with Rashee Rice this year. Once he got over the fact that he was in the NFL and got over the intimidation factor, Rashee Rice was great. And he admitted it. He's like, yeah, man, the first 6 weeks, I was overwhelmed. I can see being overwhelmed. So once he got past that, he was fine. So the Chiefs, I think, they're going to have some interesting decisions in the offseason to make. Like I said, what do they do with L'Jarius Sneed? I think he for sure is playing with the Chiefs next year. Chris Jones, I think for sure the Chiefs are going to re-sign him. They got a couple of other guys. I think they should keep Cockrell. They're not going to sign back Gay. Gay's not going to be there. Bolton, there's a lot of talk about Bolton next year. I don't know. Bolton's not great side to side as far as lateral. He can run a little bit. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with all of that. But they definitely, I think at some point they're going to say, okay, we got to have a receiver. We can't make this as hard as what it was. We just can't do it. So I think they also draft a tight end. I think they draft Travis Kelce's replacement. I'm not saying Kelce's retiring this year. I'm not even saying Kelce retires next year. But what I'm saying is, why not have two targets like that? Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I 100% expect the Chiefs to go into this draft looking for a tight end, a pass-catching tight end, somebody better than the guys that they currently have on the roster. I think they do that early, like within the first 3 rounds of this draft. I think they look for that. I do. They need some more interior linemen. Chiefs got a lot of things that they can do. They don't have a ton of holes, but they have holes in key spots. But I think the Chiefs can make some things happen, man. I think they can do it. What do y'all think about a three-peat? We're going to move on to the Q&A, but how do you guys think that the Chiefs can three-peat? I guess is a better question. I think they can. I'm not saying it'll be easy, but I think the Chiefs absolutely can. I think they keep winning as long as Kelsey keeps Taylor around. Okay. It'll be hard. Yeah. Three-peating is hard. It absolutely is hard. So your Ravens can stop them. We just played very bad. Yeah, well, the Ravens had a bad game plan. So, yeah, the Ravens can stop them. But Lamar Jackson, at some point, you got to play better in the playoffs. When the games matter, you got to play better. And I guess the better question is, not can the Chiefs repeat, do you think the Chiefs will repeat? It's never happened in the NFL. That's great point. I think the Steelers win it next year. No, I'm kidding. There's still these reports out there, and they're starting to get stronger, people, that the Steelers are going to bring in basket case Tannehill. Look, I try to be objective. I try to be fair. But if the Steelers bring in basket case Tannehill, I don't know what I'm going to do. How can I watch football when I know my team has no chance? It was bad enough with baby hands Pickett. I was willing to give him a chance. But you're telling me I got to settle for basket case Tannehill to be my quarterback? I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't. Now, there is reports that they're possibly going to trade for Justin Fields. I would take that in a heartbeat over what we have. Over basket case and over baby hands. I would take that in a heartbeat. Bring in Justin Fields. Okay, I can live with that. But, it just makes it hard to root and just knowing you have no shot. And basket case Tannehill is not going to give us a shot. I'm not sure Justin Fields gives us a great shot, but he definitely gives us a better one than basket case and baby hands. I'm sorry. There's a lot of Kenny Pickett fans that are out there that like him, want to give him. I'm done with Kenny Pickett. I've seen enough. First of all, he's injury prone. That's number one. Doesn't throw the ball down the field. I've seen enough of Kenny Pickett to know that I don't want him to be my quarterback. I've seen enough. 6 touchdown passes in 11 games. Get out of here, people. My man Pat Cockrell wants to rub salt in the wound, talking about go get Russell. Or he's talking about, oh, no, never mind. I apologize. Wakan said, if they bring in Tannehill, my condolences. Look here, Wakan. We go way back, my man. Oh, well. Cam is available. See, you're a Ravens fan, K.E. Stop it. Stop. Y'all need to stop. Look, I'm having a good day. Y'all know how y'all can turn my day into a bad day. Y'all need to stop it. I'm having a good day today. It's early in the morning. Somebody's talking about bringing in Cam Newton. I don't know about you guys, but I was never really a Cam fan. I mean, I saw him do some stuff that was incredible. I mean, he was 6'5", 250, 260, running away from defenders. I just never thought Cam was great. Oh, he was good. I thought he had an outstanding 1 year. I never thought he was great. I thought he was pretty good. So Kirk Cousins is not going to be the answer in Pittsburgh because he's not going to be there long enough. The Steelers don't need a quarterback there for 1 or 2 years. They need a guy that's going to be there for a decade. That's how you get your franchise good. You don't need to rent a quarterback. Now, for other franchises that haven't won anything, yeah, like the Falcons. The Falcons could rent Kirk Cousins and say, you know what? We just want to get to a Super Bowl, an NFC championship game. We want to win. If we don't win again for another decade, that's fine. So the Falcons would be a team that can rent a quarterback for a few years. The Steelers don't need to do that. The Steelers need a guy that they can win and be the quarterback for the next decade. So, hold on. Wakan says something about Kirk Cousins said that he may test free agency. Well, yeah, he's going to. He is a free agent. No, he wouldn't be good in the black and gold. I don't want that. Now, don't get me wrong. Kirk Cousins isn't bad. And the upgrade that Cousins would give the Steelers quarterback room from what it is now would be incredible. I just don't want a quarterback that's only going to, because Cousins is only going to play 2 years. He's not going to play another 10 years. He's just not. So, Mike DeRuler's talking about how do you feel about Shedeur Sanders saying no QB in this draft is better than him? What's he supposed to say? I get it, but I mean, if there's somebody out there that you're saying other than Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Montana, Peyton Manning, oh man, those guys are better than me, fine. But if you're going to go out and say that guys that you're currently competing with are better than you, then I don't want you anywhere around my football team. So, don't want anywhere. So he's not supposed to say that they're better than him. I love it. Let's see. Draft Arch Manning. Yeah, okay. And first of all, as far as Arch Manning, I'm not sure Arch Manning's even any good. I know that he hasn't played. I know he was the number one quarterback or the number one player coming out. But how often, if his name was, I don't know, Arch Bolton, and he played at a low division in Louisiana football, didn't go to any elite camps, didn't go to any football camps, would he have been the number one player in the country coming out of high school if his last name was Bolton or his last name was Johnston? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I'm not even saying that he can't play. I'm just saying we don't know. But whatever came out, I think it came out because he got a lot of help from his last name. That's not his fault. He didn't choose that. So you can't blame the kid. I blame a lot of the recruiting services, but we just don't even know if he's in. I mean, he's sitting behind a guy who a lot of people don't think is great, in Quinn Ewers. A lot of people don't think that he's great. Okay. Well, why isn't Arch Manning playing then? That would be my question. So, Steelers need offensive line and secondary help. Yes, they do. They need a center, is what the Steelers need. I think they need a right tackle because they're going to move Broderick Jones to left tackle. Dan Moore, his days are over as a starter with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So they need a right tackle, and a center. Mason Cole should never play another snap for the Steelers. He's terrible. But we'll get into a lot of off-season stuff. We got a lot of time on our hands before the draft. We'll break down each division and each team as far as what they know. Do I like Ciamala? Yes, I do. I don't like him. I love him. He's great. He's great. He is what the Steelers need. Brought some physicality. So, but yeah, we'll break down each team. We'll do it by divisions, what they need. We got a lot of time between now and the draft. A lot of time between now and the draft. So, can the Chiefs three-peat? Will they repeat? Can Shanahan get over the hump? What can he do? I got some Raider Nations in here. Go get Baker. I wouldn't be mad if the Steelers got Baker Mayfield. I wouldn't be mad at all. So, Wakan says, would you be opposed to probably the Trey Lance? Yes, I would be opposed to Trey Lance. And it's not, we just don't know if Trey Lance can play. But he couldn't beat out Brock Purdy. He couldn't beat out Sam Darnold. So, no, I don't want Trey Lance at all. I think that was a misevaluation that everybody put on him for a guy that didn't play a lot of college quarterback based on COVID and a lot of circumstances, and he's not very good. Yeah, I don't like Trey Lance. So, but I would absolutely take Baker Mayfield. I don't think he's going to leave Tampa, but I would take him. So somebody said Tony Romo finally made it to a Super Bowl. So Trey Lance can be like Jordan Love. Trey Lance cannot be like Jordan Love. Trey Lance sat and had an opportunity to play and was awful. Well, I take that back. He wasn't awful. He just got hurt. Jordan Love sat behind Aaron Rodgers. Where's the Aaron Rodgers that Trey Lance is sitting behind and learning from? Where's that guy? I mean, Jordan Love played a lot of college football. Trey Lance did not. There's a huge difference between the two. I know people have made that comparison. I don't think it's a comparison at all. So I don't think that's the good comparison. So, no, we don't want Tannehill. We don't want Basket Case. The Steelers do not need Basket Case. And I would boycott the Steelers if we got Basket Case. I would boycott. I've been a fan my whole life. I would boycott. Who cares if Smith doesn't like Fields? Did he tell you that he didn't like Fields? How do we know that? We don't know that Smith doesn't like Fields. We don't know that. The one thing that I do know, Arthur Smith, first of all, I don't like Arthur Smith being our offensive coordinator, but that's a different conversation for a different day. We got to do something different. We got to shake this thing up in Pittsburgh Steeler land. So, Fields is cheeks, says somebody over on TikTok. Fields is fine. He just needs some people to give him. Fields is fine. He's fine. And no, I'm not I am not giving Arthur Smith a chance. He doesn't deserve. Why do I have to give him a chance? I saw what he did calling plays in Atlanta. It was horrific. Everybody keeps going back to the days when he was in Tennessee. He was in Atlanta calling plays. Well, he was the head coach, but he still called the plays. He had the weapons and refused to use them as a head coach. What now, all of a sudden, as the offensive coordinator? Hey, I'm not the head coach. I didn't use the weapons that I had, but as an offensive coordinator, I am going to use the weapons that I have? What? No. I don't like it. But I'm going to have to learn to live with it because he's the offensive coordinator, so what am I going to do? I'm going to have to learn to live with it. Mike the Ruler comes up. Big B, who is your greatest college running back of all time? Mine is Reggie Bush. Nah, not Reggie. Reggie was great. But I go further. I mean, look, you can think what you want about Herschel Walker now, but leave all the politics and all that stuff out of it. Herschel Walker, the greatest college running back that I've ever seen. So Emmitt Smith I don't even know if he was any good in college. So that's horrific. Bo Jackson's right there with Herschel Walker. But yeah, again, Ricky Williams. I saw Ricky Williams in person in 1998. No. He's great. Don't get me wrong. Ricky Williams was great. But I saw him have 25 carries for 48 yards against Kansas State. the year he won the Heisman. I saw that live and in person. Couldn't do nothing. So, what about QB? I think Johnny Manziel was the greatest college quarterback. Johnny Manziel was the greatest college quarterback that you've ever seen. Come on, man. Come on. Come on, man. What are we doing? First of all, let's just say a couple years later, Lamar Jackson was better than Johnny Manziel. Let's just start there. Tim Tebow was horrific in the pros, an absolute disaster. Tim Tebow was better in college than Johnny Manziel. What are we doing here? Oh, my God. Who was better? Everybody was better. And again, I'm not the guy that has to tell you that Johnny Manziel was bad to say other people were better. I don't do that because I don't have to put down somebody to pump somebody else up. Johnny Manziel was fantastic in college. Fantastic in college. But was he the best? No. Not close. Not close. Tebow was better. Lamar was better. Tebow wasn't horrific in the pros? What? Okay. Jiminy Christmas. Tebow completed one pass in a football game. And they won the game. He completed one pass. That's good. Got it. Jiminy, I'm not even gonna respond. That'll direct the conversation in another direction that we don't need to go, people. When somebody comes in here and starts saying Tim Tebow wasn't horrific as a professional quarterback. He was so good that he got no job after the Broncos said, no, we don't need you anymore. So he was so good that nobody else wanted him to be the quarterback. Got it. We see guys getting chances all across this league. 2 chances, 3 chances that weren't any good, but they still get other chances. Tim Tebow, no other chances. That should tell the story. We'll move on. But back to Johnny Manziel. Yeah, there it is. Nathan Peterman's been on 3 or 4 teams. He's awful, but he's still in the league. Tim Tebow didn't even get an opportunity to do what Nathan Peterman is doing. Chase Daniel was a backup in the National Football League for like 15 years. Tebow didn't get a chance to do that. Stop the nonsense, people. Stop the nonsense. But yeah, I like Johnny Manziel as a college quarterback. He just wasn't the best ever, man. He wasn't. So, he was great, but he wasn't. Yeah, Mike DeRuler said, I'd take Cam over Manziel. Absolutely. Oh, and Mike DeRuler also says, Ron Dane. Do y'all remember Ron Dane at Wisconsin? Now, he sucked in the pros, but do y'all remember Ron Dane in college? Ron Dane. Why doesn't he ever get mentioned? I think it was because Ron Dane, he won the Heisman. When he ended his career, he had the rushing record. But I think for Ron Dane, it was because the guy had 50 carries a game. They would just line up and that's all they had, and 50 carries. Now, he'd get 200 yards, 250 yards, but he had 50 carries. Nothing spectacular, but Ron Dane got it done. I liked Ron Dane. I don't think he was one of the best ever, but I think Ron Dane was an outstanding college running back. Probably should get talked about more. You're right, Mike DeRuler. You're right. Should get talked about more. Wakan says 2 segments of fraud of the week. 2 fraud segments of contenders right there. talking about Tebow and Manziel. We'll have fraud of the week coming back tomorrow, people. Last week we didn't really have anything, but we'll start being creative with fraud of the week, especially when we get those fraud of the week t-shirts made. We get the Goon Squad t-shirts. We get fraud of the week t-shirts. We got Make It Make t-shirt, Make It Make Sense t-shirts and gear and merch and hoodies and all that good stuff. And I'll need everybody to get some. The Goon Squad, Make It Make Sense, fraud of the week. We'll need everybody to get some. We'll have it on TikTok Shop. We'll have it available for everybody to get some. We'll throw it in the chat over on YouTube so people can pick it up. Yeah, Barry Sanders as a college career, he had a great season, but it just wasn't the greatest career because he played behind Thurman Thomas. Now, maybe that was bad on Oklahoma State's part, but Thurman Thomas was a man in college. So Barry sat behind him, and then he did his thing, and then just became spectacular in the pros. So, but we'll start getting into a bunch of lists. Now that the season is over for the NFL, we'll start getting into a bunch of lists as the weeks and stuff go by. Best quarterbacks ever, wide receivers, running backs, defensive player. We'll get into all of that stuff, man. We got a lot of time on our hands now that football's over. But everybody keep showing up because I'll still be here. Like I said, we're going to shut this one down for today. But keep in mind, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Central Time, we are going to be live on TikTok, the Big B Daily Show, live on YouTube especially. You all keep showing up. We'll keep being here, man. We will catch you guys tomorrow. Aloha.